Joining me now is Jonathan Turley, George Washington University law professor, Fox News contributor. Professor, I do want to get your reaction to the question I just asked Senator Lee. What happens? Let's first start with the vaccine mandates that are in place now. We have the challenge now against the military vaccine mandate coming out of Oklahoma tonight. We have the other vaccine mandate questions for healthcare workers. They're all going to end up at the Supreme Court. How do things look with that Jacobson precedent with smallpox from all those years ago?
Well, it's been a remarkably bad run for the White House. They've racked up a number of losses in notably different areas. These are mandates related to federal contractors, also a mandate with regard to Medicare, dealing with facilities, and then, of course, the big OSHA ruling. And all of those courts said that they don't see, at the preliminary injunction stage, the clear authority for the government to do what it did. In fact, the Fifth Circuit cited Biden's own chief of staff, Ron Klain, who really was really ill-advised when he cited or retweeted a statement that this was all a workaround. That is, it acknowledged that they didn't have the constitutional authority to do this directly, and so Klain retweeted that we found a workaround. Well, the Fifth Circuit cited that. Courts don't take to workarounds in the Constitution. They like to see direct authority. And many of the problems that they've encountered has been an effort to avoid notice and comment. They used an emergency provision under OSHA that allowed them to skip that. Another court found that to be also a problem in another mandate. So there's a host of issues here that courts are flagging, and they're really racking up quite a litany of losses.
Now, one of the issues, Professor, that much of this is being driven by things like TV doctors who are saying really outrageous things like this.
Our major tool is vaccination. So, you know, the Biden administration is doing everything it can within the power of the federal government. The problem is by constitutional design, the way Madison and Jefferson did this, there are limits to the reach of the federal government.
They're really annoyed at the founders. They really don't like the fact that we have a constitutional republic. That annoys these people who want total medical control over individuals.
Well, it's rather ironic, since the Democrats, you know, really took Donald Trump to task when they believed that he was acting unilaterally. This is an extra constitutional move in some regards. Keep in mind that with the CDC eviction moratorium in another area, the president acknowledged that he was told by his own White House counsel that that moratorium was likely unconstitutional. He acknowledged that most legal experts that they spoke to said it was unconstitutional. They could only find one, apparently, Lawrence Tribe, who gave it a green light. And he said, you know what, we're going to go forward because by the time it takes them to strike this down, we'll get a lot of money out of the door. Well, the courts made fast work of it. But there's this reckless attitude of the administration towards some of this litigation. These losses cost the executive branch. They're creating precedent, not just against this president, but future presidents.
And Jonathan, really quickly, because we're out of time, but on this domestic travel ban, which they're clearly itching to impose on the unvaccinated, in your estimation, what's the likelihood that that would survive constitutional scrutiny?
Well, they have considerable authority in that area, so it could end up a close question. But I got to tell you, courts are showing greater and greater skepticism. You have to make the case. You can't just simply say, we have a new variant. The courts are now asking those questions they didn't ask at the beginning of the pandemic. They're all from Missouri, and they're saying, show me. Yeah,
well, depriving individuals of their right to travel in interstate is one of the more stunning things.
Deprivation.
We've never heard of that in the United States before, I don't believe. Jonathan, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.